plays, runs.
Yeah,
I don't know. You tell me.
Looks like first person goes straight to Castle Canaria to check out what that entrance is. And looks like we've got a Cardia Treasures, a buttload of money and a cabin. That's pretty awesome. As a couple of other people go and check Magic, we got Temper at level 1. You always want to see a good, awesome buffing spell
Fade
like Temper.
level 1.
And Fade at level 1. Life is White Mage learnable. What do you think about that? Would you re-roll for another, for a White Mage in that position?
I have to admit, I'm not a big component of this. I did see Gouda here go with a fighter, 2 red, black. He is going to use that Fade all day long. Hope to get Nuke maybe at level 2 or 3. You know, you have so many clear spells with that. Be able to take the early advantage. I foresee Gouda having an early game advantage because of that Fade level 1 like that.
No, I totally agree with you. I mean, well, Gouda and what appears to be Cheezinator both are running those 2 red mages as well as Shadowwisher. So the double red mage, and it looks like Gouda is going to go on ahead and re-roll after all of what we were just talking about. Looks like he's going to go full on red. Oh, no, he's bringing a white mage along to get that life. So at least one person decided to go on ahead and get that life lock, or that white mage lock life spell.
I don't really agree with that. I understand it, but it's just a little too much time wasting. It's a minute and a half.
And Topher appears to be Titan's East.
And
that doesn't really do us anything.
Yeah,
but
life is great, but at the same time, you can go all offense and you can kill the fiends before they kill you pretty easily with that composition. You already have level 1 Temper too.
Yeah, and Syraniss doesn't even care about Topher. It looks like he's going straight to see what Provoke is, and it's Onrak. It's probably not one of the cities he wanted to see.
I like Syranniss's comp now. The double red black, now that Gouda's kind of swapped out of it. I just like the black mage. The ability to run early is decent. And on top of that, you have the guarantee of level 7 and 8 spells that could land the fast.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know if I would have re-rolled out of that one. I mean, but right now, he's got like fades for days, and he's got the life. And he's got tempers, and what is that shark doing? He's just murdering Syranniss's whole party, as well as Shadowwisher's party has kind of gotten decimated by those Grey Wolves. What is happening over here? Looks like we've got Volcano up in Matoya's cave. What do you do then? Do you try to clear it out, or do you try to do something a little bit different? I know these guys are kind of low level.
I might do Armory. You only need a couple spells of the Fade to clear it. No. Clear it out a little bit. See what's in that Armory section with all those treasure chests. And on top of that, you can check a couple of those trap tiles. You might get something to get a couple levels early, too.
Cheezinator's thinking about it. He's right in front. He must be writing notes or something. Gouda might have forgot he has a ship because he is actually walking, and we got to see our title screen pretty early on. Well, no. He just showed us the title screen, and now he went up to Topher and realized, oops, that is Titans.
Now, one thing we should definitely probably make sure to point out is the spike tiles are actually shuffled. They are not randomized formations, but they are shuffled. So the eye could end up in any one of the spike tiles. The blue dragon can end up in it. And the ever so popular phantom tile could end up somewhere and just murder something at a low level. So
yeah. No, yes, absolutely. And enemy scaling's a lot different too than last night. I think it's 43 to 230. So enemies can roll weaker, but can roll much stronger than they did last night at the 67 to 150. And the unrunnables are actually shuffled tonight, so it should not be a long Topher, but who knows what will happen when we get to Topher and all that craziness.
And as we were talking about, fast level 2, ice 2 is there too. I didn't see what the white magic of it is in the Provoke area, but for Cheezinator, managed to pick up the Thor axe and the Thor hammer and light axe, plus a flame armor, all in Volcano. So those are some nice finds.
Yeah. So yeah, fast being level. I mean, right now black magic is good late game, but as of right now, I mean, we've only got fast and temper. We've got one decent sweeper spell, but Fade's gonna do way more work than ice 2. What do we see in white magic? It looks like we've got exit. Exit's a phenomenal spell, and that is pretty much across the board. Knight, red mage, and white mage.
And it's brought up by Zara here. It kind of points out that with the black magic where they're at, it kind of leads more towards Guda's party here with that white magic, having that life spell access or guaranteed access.
Man, pirates are hitting hard. Pirates just did 2 hits, some amount of damage to that poor black mage and just knocked him out. But that's it for them.
The picky pirates. The picky was apparently working on the Rubik's Cube, gave up and handed to our light warriors.
And we got a slab for sale for 51. That's not too bad.
I mean, that's nice to find here. Now, another interesting change here from last night's seed is, or flags, I should say. We no longer gain continual experience per key item. It is now 12 key items, gives you 200% experience.
Yeah, and it looks like Shadowwisher went on ahead and stepped into Elfland Castle, and apparently it switched out with Earth Cave. Now, for me, I'm like a black belt person, so I would definitely check those spike tiles. There's 3 right there. There's 2 in the Hall of Giants, and then of course there's the Earth Trap tile or spike tile. But Shadowwisher doesn't have that party comp, so I doubt she's going to bother checking that.
Well, it's good still for Shadowwisher. She's got the double red, who's got Fade anyways. I like the double red in general.
Yeah.
Life, yeah, it's great to have, but I don't feel that, handicap not having it. If that makes any sense. Like, I would much rather have the fast and the tempers and invis too, because the red mages can cast all that generally. And you can play around what you're up against a lot easier than taking a white mage that, I don't know.
Looks like we found Dwarf Cave in just a little bit south of Vanilla and Northwest Castle, and now we've got Mirage over in Dwarf Cave. So as of right now, I mean, we don't need...
We have access to all 3 fiends right now.
Yeah, we have access to 3 fiends because we do have the cube. And we
just don't have the rod.
We just don't have the rod. If we can find the rod, we can get to that fiend, and we just need to find the sea entrance, and we're pretty much good to go. Obviously, we need things like the loot and the key to get to places. Did you check out with the Marsh Cave? Oh, it looks like we got another Cardia down in Marsh.
Ooh, adamant found.
Nice.
That was in the south part of Earth, so that was a nice find for Guda.
Nice find. It's always good to find like those loose items right then and there, especially in the early game, because then you can get kind of fast and loose with your chest checking.
Yeah, and it's exit level 2. Wow, they got a lot of good, white magic early, the black magic support for endgame. It's very interesting how the white magic is the thing that's going to carry you early. And the black magic's going to do all the carrying later.
Thank you, Asher, for noticing that. And looks Shadowwisher, did she pick up exit? Because I see her still kind of wandering around and Mirage instead of getting out of there. Exit's a big key spell to especially on a floor like this where you can run in, check the chest, exit out, save, then go back in. And it looks like Cheezinator's fighting Agamas. Where did he run into one of them?
That's a good... Oh, that is in the Hall of Giants.
That is in the Hall of Giants. All right. That's the first set of spike tiles. And then the second set, of course, is vanilla. So it's going to be some giants. So that's the deal there. I think that most people do know this, but for those of you that don't, there are 2 sets of spike tiles in the Hall of Giants. There's 2 tiles right next to each other that have different encounters, even though they're essentially the same in vanilla. There are different encounters. So when you shuffle the spike tiles, you will notice that they are different stuff for sure.
Shadowwisher, top right, unfortunately runs into a bunch of man cats and wiped out. Had to reset out of Mirage level 2.
That's tough. Man cats, never good. What are your thoughts on man cats?
Usually, they're just annoying. They're not really weak against anything. Adamant apparently gave us Oxyal. I'm not sure how Adamantium Oxyal works, but Guda's found it.
Oh, there we go. I mean, we know where Onrak is, so we can go on ahead and head over that way if we want to, and see what that sea where the mermaid entrance or the sea entrance takes us. I mean, that could potentially lead us to sea, and then we've got everything, or it could take us to Topher. It could take us anywhere. We don't know. And I did see an Aegis shield that Cheezinator picked up in Earth Cave. Not really useful for his party, but at least it'll sell for money.
Got a nice little thing here by Syraniss is used that ship, gone outside of the bridge and found the crown.
And Sarda has the crown. Yes, you just literally said that.
That is Titans. Titans East leads into Sarda, so that's a nice little find there. Looks like Guda's also going to make the play into the Mirage floor here to check out. He's going to have to be careful of the man cats. Even with the Fade, those things are very, very dangerous. But he's going to save, though. So we've got our runners kind of all over the place of sorts here. We got one diving farther into Earth without the rod, making the play there. One is over by the Earth entrance. Gonna check that out. Shadowwisher's over in Elflin. And Guda as well, hanging out in Mirage.
Yeah, it looks like Guda's getting just beat to death by those robots.
When I said he was hanging out in Mirage, I actually meant he was hanging out outside the entrance because the guards were doing their job.
Yeah, we're definitely doing that for sure. And it looks like we got another Cardia down in Earth Cave. So it looks like we found all 3 Cardia treasures. No Bahamut, no dead ends yet. So, and Shadowwisher finding Gaia. We're Melman, thank you. Pay attention to what I'm doing.
Nice thing here. I believe Asher pointed this out too. He's in chat over here. One of our fellow postgraduates earlier. Ooh, Banesword by Cheezinator. Those Frost Wolves are an actual decent experience early on if they wanted to. Generally lower HP than most things you'll find. Should be able to kill them relatively easy. Although when they ambush you, it feels bad.
Yes, it most certainly does. Did you happen to notice that level 7 in Gaia, first slot has Nuke? That is Red Wizard learnable. Now, these guys will have to have quite a few levels to be able to cast that spell, but hey, it's there. Throwing it out there.
It is level 25 for a Red Mage to be able to cast it. So that's a long ways away for them, but you know what?
Well, in case they blow through all 9 Fade charges somewhere, they'll have that backup Nuke.
That's right.
And it looks like Shadowwisher picking up her crown. We haven't seen Northwest Castle yet, and Crescent is Crescent, it looks like.
It's always nice to find.
Yeah, see what the sages have. Maybe they'll give us something nice.
I wonder if they were on their meds today. Look at them. They're orderly. Look at them.
Yeah, that's always nice to see. There's a particular somebody that doesn't really care for the confused old men.
That must be you.
Yeah. It's probably one of the reasons why that flag is turned off in this particular race. But it looks like Sarda, what did they just give us? I just saw it. It was the crystal. I don't know why those old men are holding on to Matoya's eye, but just one of those things, I suppose. Yes. Kasabalu, we noticed that.
So Syraniss is using a tactic here. He's actually going with 5 light warriors. He added the mouse in there, the mouse cursor. So we're going to see whether or not this pays off. The mouse actually doesn't gain any levels.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because having that 5th light warrior to deal a little bit of extra damage would be nice, but unfortunately, like Dang says, it does not level up. So yeah, Thunderclawed, nice to have you here, bud. Good to see Thunder in chat. We're missing him in this particular race.
Orbital Bear gives us the mouse cursor in chat. Speed 2 cursor. Beautiful.
All right, Shadowwisher making her trip all the way down to the Onrak location, so we'll finally see our last city. Hopefully it's Elflin, maybe. What are you hoping for when you're coming all the way down here, canoeless?
If I'm going canoeless and I'm going to Onrek at this point, maybe Elflin just for the spells at this point. But even then, yeah, Lefane, not what
Lefane,
I wanted to see.
Yeah, not what anybody wants to see right there. That is rough. So, has anybody actually stepped back into Onrak with that Oxiel? I know that 2 people have the Adamant, right?
No, nobody has yet. I mean, I wouldn't if I were them. Shadowwisher does make the play going to Crescent, which is Crescent. I guess the reason why I said that Elflin for Shadowwisher is because I already knew where Crescent was. But if I was her, I would definitely hope that it's Crescent because we've already seen Provoca, and Crescent's going to have another key item.
Yeah. I like the tactic that Shadowwisher used. Nice veteran move there where she sailed all the way down without saving. And then once she realized it was Lefane, just went on ahead and just hit a hard reset and was back up towards the southern continent so that she can make it over to the Crescent location pretty quickly. Right now, we've seen all the entrances, right? Unless there's a loose in any of these places that the people haven't cleared yet, I mean, progression appears to be in that C location.
I mean, the only thing we haven't seen is the Onrak dungeon entrance. And
MG Weirdo pointing out something that we clearly missed, which is Oxiel leads to Matoya. So somebody does have the crystal. The old men gave us the crystal, which means that progression must be there.
Nope. MG Weirdo correcting me. You know, he was a tracker. He pays attention. We're just here to entertain the masses.
We're just here to talk, really. Just, you know, we just see 4 screens. We're just seeing things that are happening, throwing our insight. Trying our best to.
You know, well, the people trying to use 5 light warriors when only 4 is allowed. I mean,
yeah,
we're just here.
Yeah, we're just trying our best. We could just look at tracker stuff. It's got information on it, I think.
Yeah, this Mirage 2 has not been nice to any of our runners. Chimeras with 3 hits, that is deadly. Oh, and they got Paralyzing Touch too.
Ooh, and those Peds with Thunder, that's lovely.
Well, they thought they were going to have an easy seed because they got Fade level 1. Let me tell you about something.
Yeah, and Guda must have forgot.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, Guda must have forgot to save because somehow he got thundered by Peds and then was back in Melmond. Poor guy. It looks like somebody finally made it up to that. And we got a dragon armor and a ribbon. We found our first ribbon. Ribbons are incentivized. So we got what is it? The Schrodinger's ribbon, where we don't know if it's going to be loose or not until we find all 3.
So let me get this straight. You're a man that gets upset over confused old men, but then you give them the ribbon that could be loose or could not be loose, and they have no way of telling?
Yeah, I know. I get upset about the silliest things.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure of this.
Yeah, it's just the way I am. We don't know. We just know there's a ribbon in Mirage. And it was there. Mirage 2. We finally found our first ribbon. Yeah. Asher pointing out the obvious. Just training for tri-state flags. It looks like Cheezinator keeps finding all the stuff he doesn't actually need, like the dragon armor and the Aegis shield that he found earlier. So I'm assuming that dragon armor is going to be big. And it looks like Syraniss is going to go on ahead and make it to the room where all those loose goodies are, and Cerberuses are unrunnable. And they have sleep touch, which is just more annoying than anything.
At least it only lasts 1 round.
That is true. That is still bugged in the game. So basically, sleep only will last 1 round. It will automatically cure itself after 1 round.
Syraniss is going to be very happy here, going to pick up that dragon armor. Oh, yeah. Once he gets that promotion.
Yeah, ribbon. He's like, yeah, give me that ribbon. He's going to make his fighter's hair nice and pretty, I think? Or do you think he's going to hand it over to one of his red mages?
For him, I'd give it over to the red mages. They have less health, and they're your AoE clear.
Yeah. So we know we saw Matoya. Right? We saw Matoya. MG Weirdo told us that. Did anybody actually talk to Matoya with a crystal?
It's one of life's many mysteries.
Yes, yes.
I don't actually believe I've seen the crazy old lady.
Yeah. All right. And since we haven't seen Melmond, that slab is totally useless. And that knowing where Lefane is at least something.
Yeah, it's kind of like a tease. Like, oh, well, pro rings for about 10,000.
Well,
Those are always nice to find.
it's not too bad. All right. Oh, Mr. Thunderclawed, I'm so sorry to hear that. I tried to stall, but then I couldn't. Yeah, I was going to say, Thunderclawed, why don't you just join us now? You're going to win anyway if you just show up right now. Just hop in, hit dot done, boom. Good to go.
You know, it's actually been a surprising amount of spinning of tires here by our runners. Even with the fade, you would have thought that they would have moved a little bit quicker here, but this seed has been giving them a lot of challenges with a lot of different things. Peds with Thunder, Mirage 2 with the Catmen, the guards hitting hard. This seed, a lot of people probably would have thought it was free, but these enemies aren't playing nice.
No, they certainly aren't. I'm still just... Oh, man. Somebody has to have the crystal, and somebody has not checked that on-rack area, because everyone should have the Oxio, right?
Syraniss has the crystal. Shadowwisher has the crystal. Neither of them have gone there. Oh, and Guda.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, because that adamant is the thing that led to the Oxio. And if nobody cleared that first floor of Earth and found that loose adamant, then they have not found the Oxio yet, and obviously cannot check that area.
All right. Well, Cheezinator's about to get, I believe it was the crown.
Yep. So,
but we don't have access
gonna pick up
to Astos yet.
Whew. Man, those peds, that's just nasty to see there. And they seem to be just all over that armory floor.
Mud goals, not great experience, not awful.
Yeah.
If
and
you
we got
the
a pro
12,
ring, saving them 10 grand.
Yeah, if you got the 12 key items, get the 200%. I mean, grinding a couple mud goals early, probably not a terrible idea to gain a couple levels. But they are in the mid, or they have just now entered the teens.
Yeah, Thief paying off big time there, man. The Sahags are just turning Guda's entire party to statues.
Lawn ornaments, love them.
Yeah. It looks like Guda obviously going to step into Canary and hope that he remembered seeing softs there, which he does.
Cheezinator's making the way in the top left. Looks like going to go up to the volcano now. So we're going to have 3 people in volcano.
And where's Guda going to head? Guda's going to be our first person to head back to Onrak with that Oxshell. Does he have the crystal? I cannot read the tracker because I am mildly blind.
Yes, he does.
Okay, perfect. So he's going to make it over there. We're going to finally see what the old lady has when you hand her eyeballs back.
It's a brand.
That's right. You go on ahead, man. I was just going to use the old Will Cleosis Classic and say it's a dynamite find.
Oh, I like your version better. We do have access to the dwarves, so we can turn that in. That's always a plus.
Yep. So, if this leads to some sort of progression, whether it be canoe or floater, I mean, he's going to be in good shape.
I was kind of hoping that maybe it would have been the floater, and I could have said, you get a brand new car, but unfortunately the old lady just gave us explosives, so...
Which, as Chad is pointing out, I don't know how wise it is to have an old lady with explosives that can't see. Just seems a little weird. Syraniss still rocking the Corsair. Pretty happy for him. Fifth Light Warrior helping him out. He's got his little flame armor, taking on one Mud Golem. Cheezinator making his way back to Dwarf. We're going to find out what that TNT will turn into. Having to double dive Dwarf is kind of annoying. You had to take that adamant to get the Oxyale to get... And we got a Chime. That is trolly as trolly can be. What do you do at this point? You head straight to the Mirage, don't you? That's what I do.
You kind of have to.
All the way every day.
I mean, I guess you don't have to go there. You can either do Volcano, you can do Volcano. Yeah, you can either do Volcano or you're going to check out what the Mirage play is. I mean, that's literally the only plays you've really got at this point since, well, I guess I can't really say that because some runners haven't done the Earth play all the way through, so...
We don't have a rod. I mean, so there's really only the second floor and third floor that they can do. And what is there, like 10 chests total?
Yeah, and it's not exactly the nicest thing, but we are about to see some treasure here by Shadow. I believe she has made it the farthest into Volcano at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Volcano and with the cube sky is definitely like one of the, like, it's the play for sure. But Guda's not gonna take his Chime and run up to the Mirage entrance. He's just gonna go on ahead and try to clear Mirage and Sky. I guess hoping that the second loose item is there.
And I kind of forgot about the Mirage play. I mean, I like it. A lot of experience there. You have a lot of casts of Fade, but he's going to find out that these enemies here are not nice.
Yeah, and MG Weirdo pointing out something that could work really well. I mean, just go on ahead and you know where those Agamas are, especially if you found the Adamant. You probably check those spike tiles over there. You can go on ahead and eat a few Agamas until you get some levels and then start clearing some places out. None of these parties are really for that, though. I mean, how many black belts do we see here? Just Syraniss, right, with a black belt.
I mean, you don't have to grind the black belt. I mean, I understand it, but like,
I mean, you have to grind the black belt. I mean,
well, yeah, but I mean, to grind, you don't necessarily have to use a black belt. I mean, for a long-term grind, yeah, but if you just do a quick little grind here just to get enough levels, because they should be nearing the 12 experience here, or the 12 key items.
Yeah, because you start off with a bunch of free key items right away with the free canal, the free ship, so that's nice, right? And the free bridge. So that's already 3 key items. So you technically only have to find 9 other key items. And with all the fetch questing that's been going on, like you said, we've got to be pretty close. If you found everything we have right now,
There's a blue dragon tile.
We're 1 key item. Guda's got to be around 1 key item away from getting that extra 200% experience. Because he's the only one so far on stream that has found all the key items so far, correct?
Yes.
Excellent. So Guda. Jeez, we got a cheese and a Guda. It's too much cheese happening on my screen. Looks like Guda's going to get out of the Mirage area, and he's going to make the play for Volcano now. I don't know, man. With that Chime, that every time I play an entrance floor shuffle, I find a Chime early that just screams that it's important to go up there.
This is kind of Shadowwisher managed to get to the red dragon chest there. Gets a sun sword. Now, interesting enough, she actually equipped it on her red mage instead of the fighter.
Interesting move. But it looks like we're going to actually draw our first fiend here in just a second. And this is one of the points right here that I mentioned earlier about re-rolling for a white mage. If she had a white mage and that white mage was currently alive, she could bring her other party member back. Now, granted, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. She does have fast and tempers, fades. I think she'll be fine. It just depends on if Carrie rolled that 230 or if she rolled kind of on the lower end, closer to the 43. Whew.
I would have said that she had a chance if she would have put the sun sword on the fighter, but she put it on the red mage.
Yeah, looks like, well, good thing that Carrie's throwing out nonsense like ink, and didn't seem to hit too terribly hard. She is using the black shirt, and you would think that the Fiend of Fire would be weak to ice, but she actually has no elemental weaknesses. She is, though, weak to status effects. So you can stun, you can
Oh.
hit. Oh, Blizzard coming out, and she's down to her fighter. That's oh no. And Carrie hit hard. Oh, and she's not hitting hard enough with that fighter. Like you said, that Sun Sword, and she goes down. That is heartbreaking. That Carrie was not messing around with poison damage and Blizzard.
It really wasn't, and somebody had pointed out in chat, they believe the ribbon was left on the dead red mage. That happens quite often when you're in a hurry. You forget to swap out your items from your dead characters to your live ones. So, on top of the unfortunate where that back row killed that red mage, the combination of the knight not having the sun sword, which is the third most powerful sword that you can equip, or second most powerful on a fighter, she kind of handcuffed herself.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But hopefully she can come back from that. It looks like Cheezinator and Syraniss are about to pull Carrie here in just a second as well. And Guda is also in Volcano, so it looks like everybody's doing the fire play right now. Excuse me. Aside from that Sun Sword, do we really see anything on the Agama floor or in that Red Dragon chest heading down?
The Red Dragon test was the Sun Sword, but
Yeah,
beyond that, there was another ribbon. So some of them have 2 ribbons. There wasn't really a whole lot. There was a black shirt that was available also, which we saw Shadowwisher casting.
So,
I mean, that's not terrible, but it's not very great to do against Carrie anyways.
So as of right now, if you found 2 ribbons in the game, do you make the bet that you think that the third, or that the ribbon is going to be loose, or is one of the 2 ribbons that you found is loose, or do you just keep continuing to check chests?
I don't know. All I know is Syraniss on the bottom left doing a lot better job casting out the fades and stuff like that, but he had more casters compared to what Shadowwisher did. Cheezinator kind of doing the same thing here. Black shirts, more fades, Thor hammers, basically just going all casters at this point.
And it looks like Syraniss went on ahead and just knocked Carrie down, just made short work of Carrie. And that black shirt doing that 29 damage, also taking out Carrie. So Cheezinator and Syraniss both lighting up their first orb at the 32-minute mark.
I mean, one of the things is with the party camps, that these people are running, our ducklings are running, is Moss is incentivized. So I don't necessarily have to check a whole lot of chests because I'm going to get Masa more than likely.
No.
And I already have Fast and Temper.
Yeah, Fast and Temper. And we've seen Aegis Shield, which was also an Earth. So if you found that loose adamant, you more than likely found the Aegis Shield. And, with that early Mirage, you're going to find that Dragon Armor as well. I mean, the ribbons are out there as well. Yeah, there's really not that many more chests you're going to really be checking once you find either that last loose item or you run up to Mirage and see what's going on up there. I kind of agree with you. And you're going to get the Massa at some point, unless you're just completely unlucky and the Massa's loose. But then at that point, do you need it? I don't know.
I mean, if you got Sun Sword, you can make do with it if you absolutely needed to. I mean, Shadowwisher with the ninja is gonna have Fast and Tempers on that ninja.
Yeah,
Cheezinator's the same thing. They've got 3 casters of black magic. Everybody's got 3 casters of black magic essentially. So Tempers and Fast are gonna be easy to do. Any weapon will work. Yeah. It just depends on what the fiends bring. Are they attacking early, or do they give you time to buff up and kill them? I mean,
yeah. Syraniss is going to be in a good spot right now. It looks like he's finally inside of Earth. Since I know he likes to. Oh no, I was going to say since I know he likes to do the black belt strats, he doesn't have a black belt, so never mind. I was going to say he would go on ahead and find that Agama tile and then grind up forever, but that's obviously not going to be the case with Syraniss this particular race. And it looks like Shadowwisher is going to go on ahead, and is she making her way towards the Onrak? She's making her way towards that Onrak dungeon. And she's going to finally pick up her chime, or her TNT, which will eventually lead to her chime.
Yeah, that the death on that was a very ambitious play by Shadow, even by Syraniss and Cheezinator to try and take on Carry that early. You know,
Yeah.
that damage poison, that thunder that it cost or casted, even the attacks with the very little armor that they had could have been very dangerous.
It looks like Syraniss got his adamant, so he should know where Dwarves is. Shadowwisher getting her TNT, so she's already done Volcano. Granted, she did not kill Carrie, but she's been through Volcano. She knows what's down there. She knows she doesn't technically have to do all of that right now. She can go do other things. So I'm assuming at this point, when she turns in the TNT and gets that chime, she will head over to the Mirage location, and we'll see what's over there.
I mean, it's definitely true what you're saying. The only downside is now she doesn't have that extra ribbon. She doesn't have the Sun Sword to help, attack things down. It's unfortunately that time loss kind of gets more exponential because of that stuff.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely agree. Hopefully, though, the chime leads to something good, and she can, hopefully make up some of that lost time.
Right, like a loose Masa would be, if she can find it. Unfortunately, though, I would think a lot of the other runners are going to get there. That only kind of makes runners even of sorts, with obviously a lead for the people that have killed Carrie,
which is Cheese, Syraniss, and it looks like Guda's going to go on ahead and draw Carrie here in just a sec. Syraniss getting his Oxyel from that adamant. I think Syraniss, since he's done a lot of legwork already, is going to go on ahead and go straight to Onrak and check that Onrak dungeon. And we've got Shadowwisher with her chime. And it looks like Guda's going to go on ahead and pull Carry 1. Let's see what kind of nastiness Carry 1 does. He's got his fighter in the back row. We got a fast coming out. We got a fade coming out. Fade doing a little bit of low ball damage. Put the Sun Sword out there. 6 hits, 22. She returned with 6 hits, 62. And it looks like a bunch of fades are coming out. So he must have seen that first attack and was like, I'm just going to go ahead and throw fades. So we got an 81. Fighter hits 4 hits, 141. Fade comes out for 159, and Carry goes down. Carrie must not have rolled that many hit points.
I was gonna say, based on that, I think actually Shadow was really close to killing Carrie there, because she did get a couple crits that were well over triple digits. So
Yeah,
unlucky for Shadow there, but you got to move past it and move on.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to agree with MG Weirdo in chat. I think Guda's well ahead now because he's got that chime. He's already cleared Volcano. He's ready to go unless he thinks that he needs to go into Sky first, which I don't know. I don't really see that as the play. I see chime all the way. Whereas Cheezinator is up there. He's doing Mirage right now, heading up to Sky.
Well, it's the biggest gamble. Do you do the thing that's close, or do you go all the way to the chime play? Because you're essentially Now, see, what he could have done is saved near there, traveled all the way to the Mirage, seen what's there. Because if it's like a cardy empty, he just resets and he's over at Mirage, or over at the.
Ooh, we got an eye tile. What? No, sorry, no, that's not an eye tile. That's just an eye in Sky. Sorry, I got a little excited. I got a little excited when I see eyes on the screen. Looks like Syraniss got his TNT, so he's going to go on ahead and turn that TNT and get his chime. And Guda going to Onrak dungeon, or Onrak. I guess he hasn't been to the Northern Continent yet, so he's going to be sorely disappointed when he sees that that's Lefane. And we've got Ice Cave. Oh man, that is not the place you want to see. I mean, it is the place you want to see because we know Ice is incentivized, but Ice is a little gnarly.
Looks like Guda. Where is Guda going? Looks like he's going to go to the Chime play, also going to hang out with Shadowwisher in the frozen tundra. That is the ice cave.
We have seen... No, we have not seen the second loose. We have not seen the second loose. We have found 2 ribbons, though, but we have not seen the second loose. I think I saw an Opal Cheerio somewhere in Sky, and another Pro Cape. So Sky with some pretty good armor right now. Yeah, until we find the 3rd ribbon, we will not know if those ribbons were loose or not.
Shadowwisher already kicked out by Fire 2 guys, so Ice Cave proving its worth here. Claims 1 victory.
And man, being able to make out with that ribbon. Sorry, talking over you.
It's okay. I got used to it because you're the co-op partner.
Yeah, I know. By the way, we are co-op partners. This is exciting for me. I get to call awesome FFR action with my most amazing co-op partner, the guy who made all the plays, got us into that second round of the co-op tournament just so we could, and Shadowwisher fallen before checking that chest. I know she couldn't have been happy about that move. That was a banana peel move right there, dang. How do you feel about banana peels?
I'm sad to see that. It happens. You know, you have to be aware of those banana peels.
Yeah, Thundercloud asking who beat us. I don't remember. Do you remember anybody who?
I believe it was the ones that
the Shadows and the I can't remember.
Shadow and Demon Frog.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are the ones that did it.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Wow, we have 3 people now in Ice Cave here.
Yeah,
they're all trying to huddle together to keep warm.
Yeah, like I said, and I don't know. I've played enough of these entrance shuffles, these entrance floor shuffles, to know that like you see an early chime, you just make the play, even if it doesn't make sense. If you're nowhere near there, you just go straight there. It's just something about it. It must be the seeds I roll, but it just seems to make the most sense to just go on ahead. It seems to always hide some sort of progression.
Ooh, Ice Sword pickup. That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, we saw some Fire 2 Geist, but other than that, it doesn't seem very icy, as they say. And Cheezinator making the full clear of the star room. That takes forever.
Oh, another ice sword for Shadowwisher. That's nice to find.
And what do we got here? We got some mummies. We got a katana find up in Cheezinator's screen. So when he gets promotion, he's going to have the best weapon his thief can handle. And these guys have stunned something. That's kind of annoying. Hopefully a fade will go off before she's just completely stun locked.
Unfortunately, it was the very last red mage that casted the last fade. So
and we got a canoe. Of course it's the canoe. It couldn't be the floater. It couldn't be the floater. So what does that open up? Ordeals and waterfall, right? And ice and volcano locations. So now it's just more locations to check. Locations.
She's got to get out. She's only got 1 caster with a clear spell.
But she should have exit, right? Or am I losing my mind? Oh, no, you just said that with the fade. That she had... Wait. Fade and exit aren't sharing the same level slot.
Maybe forgot that she has fade. Maybe forgot to buy fade.
I mean exit. She must have either forgot to buy exit, or she just forgot she. Yeah, fade. MG Weirdo pointing out what I was already coming to the conclusion of, that fade was level 1 and exit was level 2. So she must have forgot to pick it up. I don't know. We'll find out if she ever shows us her magic screen. Maybe next encounter. Didn't see a whole lot of anything happening in Sky 3, so aside from that opal bracelet and a couple of pro rings, it's kind of, been alright, I guess, up there.
Looks like Shadow might do ordeals, but she kind of needs to save here. She doesn't have any houses.
Yeah, I mean, we do have Lefanish Hospitality on, so she could head over to Lefane and at least save there. There's no item shop or anything, but she could at least... She's got tents and cabins.
Uh-oh.
And it
Guda
looks like,
bottom right. Only one white mage about to try and make this long journey here. Oh, never mind. We have life. I forgot. White
and
mage.
the reason you brought a white mage along, right there, Dangwoo.
Look, with that attitude, you bring
Oh,
it, okay?
I would say to break out your bless RNGs, but man, we've got a patrolling Warmax, so Warmax is not going to be on the Bridge of Destiny tonight. Shadowwisher hopping into ordeals. It is Sea Shrine. What do you do? Do you check Waterfall? Do you do other things, or do you clear this area out looking for that last loose item?
Oof. It's ambitious play. I
Yeah.
like it. I like it. I don't know if she's got No, she's got exit. I think she just forgot about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the newer players and the nerves too, which it's easy for us to sit here and commentate and talk about what's happening in this and what we would do and all this stuff. But when you're actually out there and you're getting the restream and you're in the competition, it can be nerve-wracking, and the nerves do stack up. But let's not talk about that right now. Let's talk about the fact that we've got Tiamat up, got a Banesword going out, nothing happening. Bonk is just throwing out 3 for 3. Fade coming out for 143. And Tiamat just kind of wet noodled the thief. So let's see what happens. We got another Banesword, another punch, another fade. We got some fades all over the place. Fade for 135. Banesword comes out again ineffective. Maybe Tiamat rolled that high MDef. We don't know yet. Fade for 160 and then hits that red mage really hard. Fade coming out again for 89. What a low roll for Fade. 135. Banesword coming out again, missing. And Tiamat punched 3 hits, 94 damage. Tiamat is terminated, and Cheezinator lights up his second orb. Now it's time for Cheezinator to go on ahead and do Mirage, right?
Looks like it.
Yeah, and it looks like Shadowwisher doing the thing you just mentioned earlier, hitting up mermaids. She's going to go on ahead and keep checking those loose items. I don't know, man. I'm looking for... There's still quite a few incentive locations you can check. We still haven't seen Ordeals. We still haven't seen Waterfall. I think I would be looking for those places and hoping for progression that way instead of clearing out another big dungeon.
Well, there's a lot of chests here.
Oh, never mind. Just don't even listen to what I have to say. I don't know what I'm talking about. You go to mermaids, you find a loose floater, and then you get in the air. And that is our second loose item.
Why would you question Shadowwisher?
I don't know why I questioned her. I don't know what I was thinking. But
Oh.
I will say if any of the racers are anything like me, they will never get in the air. So that's a good thing for Shadowwisher.
It's a good thing you graduated already. You're not in this race. You already would have been in trouble in yesterday's match with Boast.
Yeah, there's no way. I hate to cut you off. There's no way in the history of ever I check Marsh ever. I've just been spinning my wheels the whole time. Marsh, the last place I go into every time.
Ooh, Guda bottom right goes to our deals also. Gonna save here.
He's gonna save. Let's see what happens. What's he gonna do? He goes in. What's he doing? He's going. Oh no! He's doing the play that the veterans always say. Always go top first, or left first. Kill crack and then make your way back down to mermaids. But we already know that that's actually not the play at all. And those lobsters just crushing this party.
He may not even get that far.
And it looks like Shadowwisher in the air at the 49-minute mark. She's going to go ahead and check out Gaia, and we have Elfland. Let's see what these level 3 magic spells are going to be. We got a Bane. Okay. And a white magic. We got a life 2 that's white mage learnable, and I don't remember because all her people are dead. I don't think she has a white mage. So that's unfortunately, again, why you should re-roll for a white mage when you see life at slot 2, Dangwell.
No, it's right here. No.
Oh, okay.
I was just kidding.
Dang it. Oh. So we're in Sharknado room on Guda's side. And looks like Syraniss just didn't even want to deal with C. He's just like, nah. He had other
Well,
things to do.
lobsters were dangerous. It's not an easy trek to get to Kraken here. Looks like some unrunnables here. You run into those lobsters. They look like they were critting pretty substantially.
And Cheezinator finally getting his chime. That's one of the reasons why I guess he's been doing all the clearing he's done. He hasn't gotten his chime yet. So the only thing I guess he has left to do is to go on ahead and head Mirage, do the Ice Cave journey, and then move on. She's done with Elflin, which means we know that Lefane is going to be Melmond. So she's going to go on ahead, turn in her slab, more than likely make her trip back over to Onrak location, which is good routing, because then you can turn in the slab to, or the you can talk to the Lefanish to get your key item there, then check out the waterfall location and see what's there.
White shirt in Sharknado room, the south room, or the bottom left room, essentially. Just before Kraken's floor. Ooh, Zombies with Bane. Hello. And Glare. Oh, that's fancy.
Man, that just seems gnarly. Like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that, Zombie D? Why you gotta be such a jerk? And bad turn order, just not doing any good, and low rolling fades, and there goes Guda. He's going right back in like a trooper. He's not playing around. Is he gonna go? He's going right. He's going right.
Well, he had essentially. Yeah, I was gonna say he essentially checked most of the chests on the left hand side. You go right, check these real quick.
Yeah, he's not even. Yeah, he's not even checking any of the chests in this area. He's going straight for mermaids, which we obviously know is the play now, but it's probably the good play anyway, since there's so many chests down there to check. And Cheezinator making his way up to Mirage. He's going to find Ice Cave.
Yeah, the Zombie D spike tile, if you blinked, they had Bane, they had Glare.
And Syraniss is also on the way to mermaids. I mean, at least he went right and checked that one chest. Let's see what happens. Yeah, he's definitely heading down that way. So it looks like Guda and Syraniss are going to get their floaters at some point in time and be airborne. And we've got Warp. And it is Red Mage learnable. I'm pretty certain that fourth slot is Red Mage learnable.
It is. The first and the fourth slot are Red Mage learnable.
So that's great.
The second and third slots are available for Red Wizards.
So what are we thinking here? Shadowwisher got in the air first, but she has no orbs, right? Because she took that terrible wipe and carry. Cheezinator has the most orbs lit, but he hasn't even gotten the canoe yet. Who do you think's? What are we looking at here as far as the lead? Do we have a leader right now? Is everyone just kind of hanging out with each other? What are you thinking?
It's so hard to tell because this is the Final Fantasy Randomizer Duckling Derby. They're new players. They are newer players. So, the advantages that we see as veterans, we'll see like a crab cakes run and stuff like that, and we'll see a lead kind of, and the way that she can extend that lead based on her plays and stuff like that. These runners may not be able to extend those leads as efficiently. So there's a lot of spinning of tires. There's a lot of, not misplays, but wasted time that we're going to see that like a crab cake.
All right, looks like Shadowwisher, since she's in the air, elected not to go to the Onrak location and turn in that and talk to the Lefanish, but she went to Volcano and she's got Waterfalls. So now we have another incentivized location in the robot. We didn't really see anything too nasty from the Mud Golems, and I know that Mummies did stun touchy things, and we haven't seen any Nightmares yet, so this waterfall should be easy with an exit. Just run in there, talk to the robot, get your key item, and then get out of there, especially since right now all these runners that have the floater have found both loose items, so there's no reason to really check chests unless you don't feel comfortable with your Ruby. That's an unfortunate thing to see, but at least it gives you an extra key item towards that 200%, which they already should have by now. All right, so Shadowwisher back in her airship. She's going to go ahead and check the ice location and see what's going on there. We've got the other end of that. Does she feed the Titan? I mean, you got the Ruby. She doesn't even feed the Titan. She's like, nah. She doesn't even care about that.
Titan lives matter.
I know. I feel like the Titan should eat. You know, maybe get a little bit. She knows where 2 ribbons are. She knows she doesn't. There's not going to be a ribbon there. So, and she's going to go on ahead and land into that building real quick, crash into it, and see what's going on. Looks like maybe she's thinking there must be a note-taking thing going on because I know she's looking for Lefane right now. All right, she's got to figure it out. No, she's going to check Cardias now. All right, well, anyways, Syraniss is walking out of Sea Shrine. Or no, not walking out, sorry. Going to go on ahead and take on Kraken since he's here anyway. I mean, I guess she may as well.
There it is. No, go back. You need that. You have the crown. Shadowwisher, go back.
So bottom is Northwest Castle.
Bottom is Northwest Castle. There she goes. Okay.
And top was Cardia. I know. And we got the crown that leads to the herb,
Which was right next door.
Yeah.
So this is good.
Where was it?
For the question in chat there, DM Stewart, this is entrance shuffle and town shuffle, except they're separated. They're not in this. They're not all together.
So it looks like she's kind of doing airship stuff. Guda picking up his warp from Melman down in the Lefane area. So it was Swamp that had. And we got a Massa. Massa's great weapon, man. Best weapon in the game, and equipable by every single party member.
All right, now this is where Shadowwisher needs a push. I'm saying that Shadowwisher needs to push this. He actually doesn't know this, but with that Massa find, she can definitely make a lot of catch up right this instant.
Yeah, absolutely. She needs to make the Lefane play. We still haven't seen Castle Canary. We still haven't seen Topher. We need to find Topher. We need to kill Garland. We need to find Castle Canaria so that we can talk to Sarah and the King. And hopefully at that point we'll have the key so we can check Canaria locked and get those last few items that we need. We really need the loot pretty much. We need Topher and we need the loot to finish and the key to finish the game, correct? Because we know where all the Fiend dungeons are. And the rod, right? We haven't seen the rod yet.
I haven't seen the rod yet, so that's needed. Loot for sure, key.
Oh, yep. Somebody's in Topher. Guda is in Topher. Where was that? Well, we're about to find out here in 2 seconds.
Oh, that was, I think either Cardia Tiny.
No, Cardia Swamp. Yeah, I just totally missed it.
Saves the princess, hangs out in the airship, wonders what he's going to do. Looks like he's going to be getting his Massa here very shortly.
Yeah, and let's go on ahead and talk about Syraniss for a second. Syraniss pulling up Kraken. Kraken throwing out a fire too. We got Fade coming out for 142. Black Mage is not sure what he's going to do. Got a Thor's Hammer. Got a couple of Fade 2 actions happening.
I lied. Guda doesn't have the crown.
And we've got Bahamut's Cave. So if you got the tail, which we haven't seen the tail yet, you can do class change.
Oh no, Guda must have reset out of the Sage getting the crown. He doesn't have the crown.
Yeah, he's very confused by that. I would be confused too. I'd be like, what is happening here? We got Ice 2 coming out, and Ice 2 takes out Kraken. So it looks like Syraniss is lighting up his second orb. And he's going to go on ahead and probably do the floater thing and get in the air here in just a second. Shadowwisher heading up north. Or heading somewhere. She's going to go kill... Or she's going to go see the swamp location and find her Topher and kill her Garland.
Ooh. The cursor on Syraniss is trying to get closer to the enemies. Made its way towards the center of the screen. This could be an epic battle.
Yes. I see. Shadowwisher thinking about checking the chest, but electing against it. Guda, you get the bottle. So it looks like the slab turns into the bottle.
Yep, Shadowwisher just done that also. All right, interesting here. So where does Shadowwisher go? She's got to go back to Canaria. Have we seen Canaria Castle?
We have not seen Canaria Castle.
Okay.
Canaria Castle at this point, unless the ferry, which we know the ferry is in the Melman location, gives us the key. Oh, we've got ordeals. We've got an ordeal site in Titans West. What I was trying to say is we're hoping that if you find Canaria Castle, which has got to be either Sarda, it's got to be Sarda at this point, right? That's the only location we haven't checked.
No, we've done Sarda.
No, like the Sarda location, the like Sarda entrance.
Oh, I believe
that's pretty sure that's the only one. Did anybody check Tinier Woods?
According to our awesome tracker here, Sarda apparently goes to Titans East.
Okay.
So Danny 383 once again proving how
Yeah.
awesome she is.
I think that Titans East goes to Sarda. Yes, that's our tracker correcting us in that regard. And Argoyles, being as equally annoying as they are in vanilla and throwing out cremates, it's not as bad as Fire 2. Or no, it's about as bad as Fire 2. And equally annoying.
Uh-oh, Cheezinator about to run into the zombie D's with Bane. Gets the first turn, over 251. Oh my gosh. They got some health. That's not good. But I think he has 3 ribbons, or 2 ribbons at least, and that MDef of the black belt saves it.
I was going to say, he should at least have 2 ribbons. And Syraniss heading towards the robot.
Both of them are. Syraniss and Guda there. Nice bright red room there that they're traveling through, red water.
Yeah, and they're going to be sad in getting that ruby from that robot. That is not going to make them happy. And then when they go up to ice and realize that is Titans whatever, they're going to be equally unhappy. So we got Shadowwisher in Ordeals, a little lost, I think, right now. I know she picked up Warp when she was in the other city. So Warp strats work really well in Ordeals. It's actually, first off, let's talk about a flag that's on here that's pretty much on all the time in Randomizer. The Ordeals pillars are randomized. So in the vanilla game, you always went to the southernmost pillar. Whenever you were going through the area, you just go to the southernmost one, and that would take you to progression. Well, we went on ahead and just shuffled them up. So it's a new Ordeals every time. So much fun.
Hooray!
Hooray, exactly. But you can use the spell Warp to help you out, and it looks like Syraniss has found Castle Canaria. I didn't see what location he was in, and the king has the key, which he should go on ahead and run into the Canaria Armory and get that other key item there. But it looks like he hadn't found Topher yet, so he didn't get to talk to Sarah, so he'll be double dipping this area.
It's an eye tile.
Yeah,
in Ordeals.
I see it. It's beautiful. It's so lovely.
It really is.
And we got the loot.
But it's got paralyze. I mean, that's good though, because now I believe he is a ruby away from a rod away from go mode.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm assuming the rod's got to be in Ordeals where Shadowwisher is, because it's the only other place that's left. And yes, it is the Sarda location that has Castle Canaria.
Okay, so she's like right there. She's gonna be in go mode like very shortly here.
Yeah. And then, but the thing is that she has no orbs lit yet, so she's gonna have to go mode all those dungeons. I don't know what her levels are looking like, but she's gonna have to go mode all those levels are kind of low. I saw 13 and 16.
It's a ribbon, so it's
a ribbon.
Dun dun dun.
What are we missing here?
Everything.
Yeah. Sarah's got to have the rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of funny. I mean, I guess in Shadowwisher's case, I might have actually stayed on the eye tile just a little bit, gone back maybe.
Yeah, I would have definitely done it too. With those levels, just grind your whole party up to a certain amount, especially since you know you're going to be in go mode at some point.
But But at the same time, I kind of wish... I don't know. I mean, the grinding on the way, but on the top left, Cheezinator taking on Kraken here. Kraken... Oh! 1 HP! Not even close, baby.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, 1 HP keeps you living.
That's
After
right.
this battle, Mr. Don the Nintendo Freak, we'll tell you exactly why this is called the Duckling Derby, but we need to keep an eye on this Kraken battle as Shadowwisher is going to go on ahead and talk to the King and Sarah, get her key, get her rod, and then go into Canaria Locked and get... Oh, no, that's the tail.
That's good for her. She
Good for
needs the
her.
tail.
The bottle. The fairy in the bottle's got to have it.
Kraken has been demolished by Cheezinator. He has 3 orbs lit. Just needs the rod.
Yeah, Crabcake's saying exactly what I said. Yes, you need the bottle. You got to let the fairy out of the bottle to get the rod so you can be in go mode. And yes, so talking about Don the Nintendo Freak, the Duckling Derby. Why is it called the Duckling Derby? Well, in the Final Fantasy Randomizer community, we call all of our newer players little ducklings. And so this derby that you are seeing here involves all of our newer players. And they're basically a 3-day tournament. You do a play-in race, which happened yesterday. Seeds are pretty easy, 2 loose items, nothing crazy going on here. This is actually the second round with our top 9 players. We were supposed to go to our top 8, but our 8th place players actually had a tie, a virtual tie. They were within 1 second of each other, so we went on ahead and just let both go through. And now we're here. We're going to take our top 4 runners from this race, and they'll move on to tomorrow's final race. And whoever wins the final race tomorrow will be crowned Duckling Supreme. And those 4 ducklings will move out of ducklinghood and turn into what we like to call platypus. They're not quite veterans. They're not quite ducklings. They're somewhere in between.
And you said top 4?
Yes, top 4. So the top 4 players from this race will automatically no longer be ducklings. They'll no longer get that crazy ping that they get every Monday when I throw out a duckling seed.
Well, that doesn't sound very fun.
I know. I miss being a duckling. Don't you miss being a duckling? Going out there, just, and not really knowing anything. And it looks like Shadowwisher is going to go on ahead and do her class change. She just needs to make her way to Gaia and get that rod so she can be in go mode. Ducklings are people. I agree with you, Thundercloud. You're right. We don't know anything about off-screen runners. If you feel like checking in on them, seeing how Cinema B and Dark Moon EX and Ray Fates Caleb are doing, throw it out there. Which one is Dang and which one is Greg? I am Gregory Puff. Dang is my co-op partner. Go on ahead. You say it.
I am Dang Wu. And this is the Final Fantasy Randomizer Duckling Derby. I just had to. I had to promote it.
Yeah.
I was trained by Wilkliosis. I have to promote things like this, I tell you.
Can somebody throw out the Discord out there so we can get people in our group so they can show up and run all these awesome seeds, meet all these awesome runners, and meet all the awesome devs that made this thing happen. That's one of the best randomizers I've ever seen. It's just made the original game the best way to play the game. Takes all those memories that I had in 1990 as a 10-year-old kid playing through this game and just makes them so much better. Just such a much better playthrough than the original. What do you think?
It makes it a lot more entertaining. Let me get, nothing is as satisfying as imps randomly having the nuke spell. Let me tell you, that is just a delight.
Yeah. So looks like Nintendo Freak does want to go on ahead and join the server. So if anybody wants to throw it out there, thank you, CC. She's doing it. She's got the stuff happening, and we're going to get you in here. And Crabcake's pointing out that Cheezinator didn't go to mermaids. How is that? What? So he's just sailing around?
Look, sometimes you just want to sail the highest seas, okay?
And looks like these guys are just going to go on ahead and just keep hitting exclamation whatever until and Shadowwisher, our first official runner on stream that is in go mode. She's got everything she needs. Now she just needs to clear all the dungeons. She's got all her loose items. She's kind of underleveled, so I don't like that. I don't like the underlevelness, but she can just go mode all these dungeons and make it through the game. I think if she takes some battles on the way, maybe she can get enough levels to make Topher happen. I don't know. What are you thinking?
I mean, you got Warmech available. It is patrolling.
That is true. So
you can always take on that fight and then gain. It helps you gain a couple of those levels. Yeah. Fighter or Knight Thief plus the levels from C. She's gonna gain it by the time she gets there. I think is gonna be okay.
Yeah, it looks like we got a double Garland battle happening here. Guda and Syraniss taking out Garland. I think they've both already found Castle Canaria, so they're going to probably make the play back over there. Looks like Woods is Marsh. Of course, you just walk right out of Marsh when you have 2 loose items. You don't need any of that nonsense. And I'm assuming the tiny island must have had the other Cardia empty. That's the only thing I don't have on my sheet in front of me.
Yeah, one thing to point out here as we kind of talk to the princess here and the king here. Here's the link to the Final Fantasy Randomizer website. I just posted a chat. That will give you the links to the Discords. We even have a dev Discord if you want to talk to them about kind of all the crazy stuff that they have done for it. More than welcome to. There are 2 Discords. So more than welcome to join both of them. One, whichever you decide. We're all here to have fun, and may you have better luck lighting the orbs.
Yeah. May you close that 2,000-year loop. That loop is crazy. It's a little convoluted. I don't really understand it, but you got to close it. And 1 lobster alive over on Shadowwisher's screen, but she went on ahead and murdered it with a sword. And now she's up to level 15 and 17. And she got that battle again and ambushed by it. So that's always fun to get ambushed by a bunch of lobsters.
Good news is they all attack the knight, so that's always a plus.
Yeah, and Syraniss going on ahead and doing his class change. And Guda back in Provoca, I guess just to save. Just to get a little save action going on. Cheezinator's wheels are spinning right now because he just checked Ruby locked. He doesn't know what's going on. He's got to be confused. He is trying to think, what has he not checked yet? He's checked everything. It's going to eventually dawn on him that he never actually checked mermaids. And then he's going to head down there and get his floater, but I don't know. It's going to take him a while to get there, I think. What are you thinking?
It's going to take a little bit, unfortunately. Not having a floater.
And he's not going the right way at all towards it. And the floater is going to be required because we know that Topher is in one of the Cardia Islands. And the loot and the rod and pretty much everything else that you need to finish the game is in the Sarda dungeon, which you have to have the floater for as well. Alright, looks like Shadowwisher. She's going to go on ahead and head towards Kraken here. Cheezinator back in Earth Cave. He's going to clear Earth. Or at least the 2 floors of Earth he can clear right now. Syraniss finally in the air. Going to go on ahead and land in the forest real quick before landing. And then he's going to turn in his slab to Lefane.
Speaking of this, as Shadowwisher's making her way over to Kraken here, I just kind of wanted to tell some people out there about some more FFR action. If you are wanting more of it, we have actually 2 weeklies that are going on. On Mondays, we have the Duckling Weekly. The Duckling Weekly, that is every Monday. You know, a lot of the newer players come in, join in. It'll be on Speed Gaming. We will be... Oh, it's on Tuesdays. I'm sorry. On Tuesdays. So that is something to come watch. On Mondays is actually the community center is hosting a weekly event. Also, that's at 10 o'clock. Those will be over on the Randomania channels. And on Fridays, Caleb and I actually have a Road to Speed Gaming Live marathon extravaganza, if you want to call it. We race every Friday with our own little flags that we're going to be doing for the marathon. It is kind of a friendly competition rivalry that we're having, so you guys are more than welcome to come hang out. That is also at 10 o'clock on the Speed Gaming family networks.
All right.
And I finished it just in time.
Yeah, so it looks like Shadowwisher going to finally try to light up her first orb after that awful carry battle she took. We've got Agama facts happening on Cheezinator's screen. Guda's doing Earth, but let's talk about Kraken for a second. Kraken getting hit, 3 hits, 26 damage. She's tempering up that fighter. Yeah, that's the good stuff. Temper actually works in this game, raises your attack value by 14 each casting, and 1422. Holy moly, that was a big hit by that sword. Let's go ahead and move down one screen to Guda, who's taking on Lich. Let's see how this Lich goes. I mean, Lich is typically kind of a speed bump in the game, but we do have 230%. So Lich could roll nothing. He could just not do anything and be the old man that we know that he is and just fall over dead. So Guda lighting up his second orb. Cheezinator has 3 orbs lit. Oh, this is insane. This is crazy. Cheezinator has the orb lead, but doesn't have the floater. So he needs that floater in order to finish the game. That orb lead doesn't really mean anything until he gets back into sea and finds that floater, where Shadowwisher finally lighting up her first orb, and she's the only person on stream right now that is in go mode, correct? Because it looks like Syraniss is heading to get his rod and put himself in go mode, and I didn't notice if Guda had actually gotten into go mode yet. Crabcake's pointing out that Guda, she's pretty certain, is in go mode, but we're going to see here in a sec as Shadowwisher goes into Earth. She's just going to make a beeline towards Lich, while Cheezinator keeps killing Agama. She keeps eating him up. He's at level 32 right now.
So one thing about Guda is he doesn't have the Masa because he somehow lost the crown. So he's taking these fights, unfortunately, without an endgame weapon of sorts, if you want to call it. It was called out that he did find an Excalibur, but he doesn't have promotion, so he can't actually use the Excalibur.
And chat wondering where Tail was. Tail was Sarah. So you'd have, I think, if he hasn't found, which doesn't look like he's got Castle Canaria down, you'd have to talk to the king to get the key, and then Sarah to get the tail, and then you would get the loot, if I remember correctly, from Canaria Castle Armory.
Based on what I see on the tracker, he does have the tail. Maybe elected not to do it. Maybe kind of forgot where it was at.
I mean, it was in Waterfall, so it's kind of a hike to get over there, especially if you've already done this slab turn-in. There's no kind of real reason to go up there.
Well, it is for him because he doesn't have access to Masa.
That is very true. So yeah, I mean, it looks like Guda's going all the way to either 37 or 42. He, you know, if he can't find that floater, he's going to at least take his black belt up to where it needs to be. That way he can just really show the true power of a 42 black belt once he finally gets into go mode at that moment.
You know what he does have, though? Guda does have the Sun Sword, I believe. I think that's what he's swinging. So it's not awful, but I don't trust the Sun Sword if I have access to a Masa. But
yeah, and it looks like Almarkin pointing out in chat, one of our off-stream runners, Caleb, has lit up his third orb, but he's also in a similar situation as Cheezinator, and he has not found the floater yet, but at least it looks like he's heading down towards that Mermaids. If you want to, you know, check it out, pull it up. Caleb, Rafe hates Caleb. He's also floating around out there somewhere. He's one of our 4 off-stream runners. Unfortunately, one of our ducklings could not make the race that had made it the previous night. Had a prior engagement and couldn't make it in for this race.
Ooh, the opal bracelet was found there by Guda, so that's a nice caster and defensive item.
Shadowwisher doing the northernmost run on Earth Cave. Never seen anyone do that particular run, but I like the strategy. I like it. I like seeing new parts of a cave I've never seen before.
And for all out there, I just kind of put it up there to follow our runners if you kind of want to support them and stuff like that more than, we would definitely always recommend that. These fine runners here are putting up a great show for everybody out there.
Yeah, give us all a follow. I mean, it's all right there. CheezinatorHS, Shadowwisher, Syraniss, guda632, myself at Gregory_Puff, and my my commentary partner, Dang Woo. One word, DNGWOO, Dang Woo. And of course, our tracker, Danny3883, who's always making sure it's going. At this point, I barely know what's happening. We've got a lich on screen. I'm sure that lich is about to go away here and right now. So Shadowwisher lighting up her second orb. She is gaining some serious ground right now. What do you think she does? I assume she goes on ahead and exact her revenge against Carrie. As Syraniss pulls up Tiamat. You want to call this Tiamat battle? I've been talking a lot.
But you're doing such a great job.
Oh
you are the boss man, Gregory Poof. Okay?
Oh my gosh, thank you. Well, since things are happening, we got a heal 3 coming out. We got a knight smacking away for 2 hits, 108, a temper out, a fast. Of course, those things couldn't have happened beforehand. They had to happen after the attack. So, what are you going to do? So, more tempers. We got an ice sword hit for 2 for 68. Another temper comes out. Tiamat 5 hits, 482. Second temper. Tiamat wet noodling our fighter again. I guess only likes to wet noodle the front line, not so much the back line. Heal 3 coming out, making sure everybody's staying alive. Fight attacks, 5 hits, 1038. Tiamat is dead. Looks like Syraniss lighting up his second orb, while Shadowwisher, she's heading to exact her revenge. She's very upset what Carrie did to her way earlier on in this race.
Now this is going to be very key here. The choo-choo train has already begun here. Cheezinator basically just needs to find that floater. And these runners here need to realize that train is going to catch up very quickly if given a chance.
Yeah, Cheezinator clearing out Earth without the rod. We know he needs the airship to get the rod. He's looking for that loose floater. Hopefully he finds something good down here. We're hoping for Bonk at this point because we know where the other ribbon is. We've seen pretty much everything else in the game that you could possibly want. So hopefully this is not a fruitless thing for Cheezinator. Hopefully he at least gets something out of this. Because friends don't let friends dive Earth without a rod.
Oh, I think he's diving Earth without a rod.
Yeah, and it looks like we've got Guda pulling up Tiamat now. We got Fast coming out and Fades happening. So of course, your fighter always has to attack before the Fast and the Tempers go out. Fade doing as little damage as humanly possible. I think 86 has got to be about as low as it comes. Fighter going on ahead and attacking again with that Sun Sword. We're fading for Dave. And now Bane strats. I like the Bane. And Poison Smoke. Poison Smoke. Tiamat is dead. Guda lighting up his third orb. Cheezinator finding 717 gold. Got an X-Cal. Got an X-Cal finding on Syraniss' screen.
A vampire-shaped speed bump. It's gone.
Almarkin doing all the Lord's work by pointing out what is happening with the speedrunners off stream. Looks like Cinema Bee has one orb lit right now. Caleb, like we just said, is going to be in the sky here in just a little bit with 3 orbs lit. So he'll be in go mode probably at some point in time and probably just needs to kill... I don't know who you could need to kill. Probably Lich, because you got to have the airship to get the rod. And Shadowwisher, I didn't even see her, but she must have killed Carrie somehow.
Oh, yeah. Well, remember, Carrie probably had maybe 400-500 health at most. Masa at that level is going to eat up Carrie, and that's exactly what happened.
And I'd like to point out RPG Limit Break. Thank you so much for the raid. We got a party of 168 people in here checking us out. I'm always happy to see chat engaging us. We got Almarkin out there. We got Crab Cakes out there. I saw Spells App. We had Nintendo Freak out there. All these awesome people. Crown was Sarda. Sarda had the crown, and Sarda was located in the Titans East location. And somebody's pointing out steak and wings. I don't see it. I see a sandworm getting absolutely destroyed by Guda.
And you know what we should do, Gregory? I tell you, I am Dangwoo. That is Gregory Puff, the man that introduced all you fans of RPG Limit Break. Me, I'd like to say thank you. But first of all, this is the Final Fantasy Randomizer Duckling Derby. You see that in the middle of your screen. These are newer players. They are battling it out for a chance to advance to the title of Platypus, which is kind of between, as Gregory had pointed out earlier, you may not have known this, is newer players and vets. So it's kind of like the halfway point. Allows them to kind of get some recognition for all their hard work, and this tournament is there to do that. So welcome for it. It is a little nerve-wracking what's going on, or a little confusing. It is entrance shuffle, so all the entrances have been shuffled in a separate pool, and the towns have also been shuffled separately. So they have to be able to keep track of both the entrances and the towns if they want to get around places. So it is definitely a challenging. Now, one of the cool things about it is we definitely made it progressively more exciting here. Next week, or actually tomorrow, will actually be a full-on floor shuffle where everything is mixed together. So that is really going to be where it gets spicy.
Let's see. I just want to call the Syraniss battle just super quick. Syraniss is pulling on Lich. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it's only going to be like 1 second, and Lich is dead. All right, continue.
I don't even know how to go with that much energy. I mean, that was an epic battle with that speed bump there.
The speed bump went down pretty hard, and Syraniss lights up his third orb. Everyone has 3 orbs. Cheezinator finally back in sea. He's finally heading down to mermaids. He's probably slapping himself right now for leaving the area without checking mermaids. And he's going to finally make it down there and get his floater at what will eventually be probably the 1 hour, 29-minute mark. We've got Shadowwisher inside of Sky going to go on ahead and try to light up her third orb as she's on the Bridge of Destiny. Don't worry about the Bless RNGs. We already know Warmech is patrolling, so we will not see Warmech today. No one wanted to engage.
I'm kind of surprised that Shadowwisher didn't at least try and take the fight. I know she probably feels a little bit behind, but her levels are a little low for this. Little low. The like Warmech definitely would have helped. I think the Warmech would have at least made it a little more consistent of a dive, if you want to call it.
Yeah, with 230% not clamped, so we still got the 43% on the bottom half. I still would like a little bit higher across the board. I mean, I think you'll still be fine as long as you make some good plays. You know what you're doing. You manage your magic right, and you have enough heals and all that stuff. She should be fine. And Crabcake's pointing out she should hit 24 in Topher, but we'll see as she pulls up Tiamat. She's going to light up her 4th orb here in a sec. Let's see how this battle goes down. As Syraniss finds Marsh and nopes out of there real quick. We don't need Marsh today. Marsh was all yesterday. Yesterday was all about the Marsh.
One of the things here, as she's kind of buffing up that knight here, is she kind of took the lead there, kind of did the first one against the carry, took the wipe, and now she went from like dead last, and she's moved her way right up to the in a battle against Guda here to see who's going to go into Topher first. So this is a heck of a race for first place here, at least on the people that are on the broadcast.
Yeah, I will have to say for sure, we talked about this earlier, finding that early floater when she did, it made a big difference, even though she took that wipe on carry earlier on. I mean, it's making a big difference as she takes on Tiamat and just puts Tiamat away. And we got a Kraken battle happening on the bottom right with Guda, Shadowwisher and Guda just taking on different fiends at the same time. 2 times in a row now, as Syraniss, I guess our tracker got it mixed up. Syraniss actually has all 4 orbs lit, and he's going to go into Topher before everybody else.
He was so, like, he was basically like a ninja here, just kind of snuck his way through. We didn't even notice he killed them off so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, we were just too busy staring at the tracker. I just didn't see all the orbs lit and didn't realize he had actually killed all 4 of the fiends. So what are we doing now? Shadowwisher making it through Tiamat, Guda. They're all have their 4 orbs lit. They're all should be ready to go into Topher as Syraniss takes it on. Do you think he's going to validate his run? Probably not. Probably not. Not with 3 ribbons, the dragon armor, Aegis shield.
Well, the
Massa.
one thing about the validating the run there, if you guys didn't know, there are those 2 chests right there that Syraniss just passed. The problem is it can mess you up because you could get a cabin or a tent and it messes up your item screen. So your heal potions are no longer easily accessible. So you have to do a couple extra menuing, which costs time while doing a long Temple of Fiends dive. So Shadowwisher has also entered. I'd say about what 3-4 minutes, probably 3 minutes at most. Syraniss is taking on Lich 2. We're gonna get our first look to see what Lich 2 has. Could have nuke. Wow, that was a big hit by that knight. Lich 2 did not go down, but comes back with a Lit 2. A lot of Lit 2s in the boss pool, so not too scary so far. That was essentially a free turn. Should be done here. Yep, Lich 2 is done. So far, nothing has been shown. We are curious about Cure 4, Slow 2, nukes. There are 3 nukes in the boss pool, and there are 4 nuclears. So there is definitely a lot of stuff out there that could possibly slow up our runners. Guda finally gets the crown, be able to turn that in, get the Massa there. He's going to be a lot more. He's going to be a lot happier. Syraniss about to pull carry 2. Cheezinator gets the bottle finally. He's going to be going in go mode here shortly.
We got a carry 2 battle happening right now. We got some Tempers coming out. Tempers for days. I like the plan. Going ahead and attacking with that Black Mage. That was clearly a misfire there. 4 hits, 428. That's a big hit. Carry hitting back pretty hard on that Red Mage as well. But Carry goes down close to vanilla hit points right there. That had to have been around 600 hit points, less than vanilla. And Syraniss on the seafloor. We do not have any finishers off stream so far, as looks like Shadowwisher right now making it into the earth floor.
Yeah, about 2 floors behind. There are some battles here on the earth floor. I think she should take some. She needs to get 24 to be able to get that 5th hit, 6th hit.
Yeah, it looks like she's taking the Gurmaduses. No, it's fine. Yeah, to get that 5th hit. She's going to go on ahead and take the Gurmooses, which I totally agree. Oh, no, she's not, actually. I would have definitely ate those Gurmaduses all day long, every day, to get some extra levels off of it. And we are joined by the man that has brought me into the community, Mr. Fizzlebeef. How are you, sir? Got a Lich battle happening. I missed the first Lich battle, so we got a Lit 2 coming out.
Lich 2 has a lot of HP.
We do know that. All right. We've got a Kraken 2 battle happening on Syraniss' screen. Lord Fizzlebeef showing off his times. Nice. Thank you for that.
Thunder from Kraken. Unfortunately for that Black Mage is now down.
Yeah, not having a White Mage right now is really going to start to shine here, because we know that Life and Life 2 were only for the White Mages. And it looks like Shadowwisher just plinking away at damage. Not really much damage happening. She's not really respecting Lich. Luckily, Lich didn't hit very hard. There we go. Lich is down. We've got Guda and Topher as well. And it looks like Kraken 2 also went down.
Well, the one thing that's interesting about this entire thing is Shadowwisher kind of showing you what the difference is between 5 hits and 6 hits. Syraniss had 6 hits, got an extra chance to crit, was able to make use of it. 2 turns Lich. Shadowwisher unfortunately took 4 turns?
Yeah, it was something around there. Looks like Guda's going to validate the run. We're going to see what we got. We got some gold. We got a silver helmet. I would definitely put that silver helmet on. Just take that ribbon off. You don't need the ribbon anymore. Put that silver helmet right on there.
Ooh, Syraniss through Tiamat 2 turns.
Yeah,
big crits by Massa. Big hits.
Yeah, and we've got a carry 2 happening on Shadowwisher's stream, and Syraniss going on ahead. Well, what's he going to do? He's just going straight for it. Didn't rearrange his party, didn't do anything. I would have at least maybe put that dead party member in slot 2 so that your red mages would be a little more protected. Bane's not going to hit anything through those ribbons, though. And we got 5 hits for 328. And, of course, Fast had to come out afterwards.
Now, remember, we haven't seen Slow 2. We haven't seen Cure 4. No nuclears, no nukes. But Chaos is just attacking, essentially.
And it looks like Chaos has low defense, like Crabcakes is pointing out. I mean, and, geez, no hits happening right now. And 10 hits, God. That was a pretty big hit there. And we've got 5 hits, 829. More tempers coming out. Lit 2 is a whole lot of nothing as we got Kraken 2 being pulled on Shadowwisher's screen. We'll talk about that here in just a sec. Heal 3 and up. We've got a temper coming out. Chaos hits for a whole lot of nothing. 10 hits, 855. GG's. Syraniss finishing the race with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 35 minutes, 44 seconds in first place, beating out some of our more veteranish runners, I guess I would say, and Cheezinator and Guda and Caleb and Dark Moon X. That is really awesome. Syraniss has got to be happy about that time. He is our first person, our first official platypus, moving on to the final race as Shadowwisher takes out Kraken 2, and she's going to go on ahead and engage Tia 2 here in just a sec. We will pull Syraniss in here in just a moment, but we are going to want to call these Tiamat 2 battle here as it looks like Cheezinator finally getting the rod, finally in go mode, and is going to go on ahead and go mode this dungeon and make his way through. We've got Guda on carry as well. So we got Guda on carry 2. We've got Shadowwisher on the way to Tia 2. She's moving some stuff around. She's got her silver helmet on that she found. I'm proud of her. I want to say GG's to you real quick, Syraniss. I know you're in here.
Thank you.
I'm going to go on ahead and call this battle real quick between Shadowwisher. Okay. Shadowwisher and Tia 2. She went on ahead. We've got a dead person in slot 1. Kind of messes RNG up a little bit because typically your oh, good lord, she just one-shotted Tiamat 2. Okay.
It was actually all calculated by her. She knew that she'd get enough crits and be able to kill the Tiamat 2 just like that.
Yeah, that was a okay. And she's gonna go on ahead and talk to Garland. And does she have the weight? No, she does not have the weight. I know that.
Ooh, she does it again. This is spicy here. Okay.
Yeah, this is spicy. But we know that Chaos was kind of a glass cannon. He didn't really do much of anything. He had some lits. He had some other random stuff. We know he had low defense. So as long as she throws out the tempers and the fast and gets the hits off, she should be pretty good to go. Chaos hits for 2 hits, 106. Hopefully her red mage has that heal 3 and can go on ahead and heal the party up. 4 hits, 4 damage from the thief. She stops to think about what she's doing here. Gonna go on ahead and throw another temper out. Bane comes out. Bane, of course, ineffective across the board as Kraken 2 is being engaged by Guda. And blink and you miss, Cheezinator has killed Lich. So I think Cheezinator has all of his orbs lit, and he should be heading into Topher here in just a moment as Guda kills Kraken 2. We've got more tempers coming out. Chaos getting hit. You got Lit 2s coming out. Ninja doing a whole lot of nothing with that 4 for 4. She tempers up her red mage. I'm assuming that was an accident. Another Bane happening. Kills her fighter. Oh, no.
Oh, no. See, it was all planned. It was all planned. She did this on purpose.
Yes, she did. Fade for 157. No, that is amazing. 59 hit points, 28 hit points. Takes down Chaos with a fade charge of 158. And she comes in second place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 39 minutes on the dot. Going on ahead and moving into our second race. We're going to bring her in here as well. I'm sorry, Syraniss. I know you've been in here. You're waiting to talk to us. Oh my gosh.
But we don't even have time because another chaos. There's another chaos being pulled here. How's this one going to turn out?
I don't know. I can't even handle it. Oh my gosh. It was too much, but let's call it anyway. We're going to go on ahead and throw a cap and a white shirt, I think is what is happening. I'm not really sure what the cap plays are, but we're going to do it. We got a white shirt out there. I'm going to go ahead and throw out some... Where did that poison come from? What? He has abilities? This is insane. Attack 10 hits 10 damage. Let's get some tempers and fasts on top of that fighter so you can actually do something. Gas has skills.
And Inferno, hello.
What is happening here? And it looks like, oh my gosh, 10 hits. And man, we are seeing a completely different chaos on Guda's screen than Syraniss and Shadowwalker saw. We saw a bunch of nonsense like Banes and
Shadowwisher,
sorry, my God. I'm sorry.
I get it. It's super exciting.
Blizzard too?
Blizzard's
Wow.
coming out. Oh my gosh, look at all these skills. Finally a good hit. 10 hits, 555, the quad 5s. 55s. We got a heal 3 coming out, making sure Guda can keep his knight and not knight, I'm sorry. Oh my nuclear, what is happening here?
I guess Guda got all the skills.
Yeah, clearly. And then if it wraps back around, poison! No, it can't! It can't wrap back around. Don't do this to me. We can't see Inferno. We got to see that lit 2 or some other nonsense.
Nothing is on fire by Asher. All's fine, everybody.
It's fine. It's fine. He's just in a house on fire. He's good to go. He's fine as Chaos hits for 61 damage. That white shirt doing its work. Throwing out a heal. Just, a little heal pot. Make sure keep everybody alive. We got 10 hits, 207 damage. And Guda takes down Chaos. Guda in third place with an official SRL time of 1 hour 41, and none of our off-stream runners have finished. So what you see on screen right now is what is happening. Syraniss in first place, Shadowwisher in second place, Guda in third place. Syraniss, you've been waiting for us. I've been screaming at the TV. This is a computer monitor and freaking chat and all this craziness, and you've had to listen to me. Just go, talk about your run. Syraniss, help me out here.
Okay, seriously. Nuclear Winter Red Bones? Who keeps rolling these things?
I don't know who rolled this.
Hey, Boss Gregley. I believe that was your seed.
So we're still waiting on our 4th place finisher, by the way. One more finisher, either on screen or off, and Cheezinator is in Topher. He is trying to make his way through, but let's go on ahead and talk about this real quick. Syraniss, you talk first. Tell us about the seed. Tell us how you felt about that early white and black magic, and then moving on.
Oh my God, white magic was fantastic. I mean, sure, you could have brought white mages to this, but that black mage was just a giant, useless anchor on my team.
I felt that he did very well with taking a dirt nap many times.
Many times. I was tempted to leave him there a couple of times. I know a lot of our runners enjoy doing the 3-man party thing.
Whoopsie.
I was wondering about that. I honestly had thought at one point here, as Kraken 2 has been pulled by Cheezinator here, I kind of thought that maybe you're going with a 3-man or a 3-party thing. But you kept trying to bring it back and it would just instantly die again. So black mages were proving once again that they are a great source of, I don't know, uselessness? Dare I may say?
Well, those Black Bolt strats are pretty much paying off right now. Cheezinator's making up a lot of that time that he lost never finding that floater, and he's already through Kraken 2. He's got to deal with these unrunnable worms. He's got to feel up against it. He's seen 3 people already finish, which means he knows he's vying for that last slot to go into the final race. Shadowwisher, talk about your race real quick. Let's hear what you have to say.
I thought the beginning was very sloppy on my hand, wiping the carry.
Yeah, we talked about that. How'd you feel about that? That was rough. And you had pretty low levels. I want to say you were like level 6, 7, or 8, somewhere in that general area when you engaged carry.
It made me realize I should have had exit on both red mages at the time. Because the only reason I pulled carry 2 was hoping I'd get through and save all that stuff I gathered.
Mm.
But the seed was telling me no, go elsewhere.
Yeah, we were actually wondering in ice why you everything out of ice instead of exiting, and I guess that was the reason why, because your one red mage that had exit must have passed while you were in ice cave.
I think so. And then
All right.
just praying I didn't have to go back for those 2 chests because I misstepped in the hole.
All right. Well,
No,
good. Go on ahead.
I was going to say here, this is a very important thing here. We have Caleb in the off screen about to pull Chaos. Cheezinator with the choo-choo train. I'm not sure what Caleb's running. We are about to have who's going to get top 4 here, Cheezinator or Caleb. As much as I know of, those two are battling it out for the top 4 here. This is going to be an intense race here. Both of them know it. They've seen SRL. They both know. Great turn order. Poison damage off the start. Doesn't matter at this point. That black belt's going to do some damage. 20 hits for 500. It's a great start.
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. The thief going on ahead and throwing out a 5 hits for 5 damage. Sometimes you just gotta do that. Sometimes you gotta do a 5 for 5 and throw some more tempers out.
More great turn order here. This black belt is waiting until after most of the tempers of fast are coming out. Does another big set of big damage here. This has got to be it here. Oh,
yeah,
1235.
It's 12. Yeah.
See ya.
See ya later. Cheezinator with the resounding 4th place, and unfortunately Caleb right behind, but not close enough to do a virtual tie. We got Cheezinator in 4th place with 1 hour 45:56 official SRL time, whereas Caleb finishing 5th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour 46:32. So just about 30 seconds behind our 4th place finisher. We need to congratulate all of our streamers on stream. These 4 runners are the ones that you will see tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Eastern Daylight Savings Time doing the finals. They are platypi or platypuses or whatever you say, and whoever takes it, whoever wins the race tomorrow will be Duckling Supreme. It's gonna be awesome. I'm very excited. We're gonna get Cheezinator in here in just a second. Who needs to talk? Who wants to talk about this? You got questions for these people?
I think we need to hear, some.
We need some
from Guda a little bit. Yeah.
We need some Guda action.
Gentlemen. I had to do my shout out to Dang like I do when he's calling my races. Skip Bicky for a little while.
I was wondering. I was like, wait a minute. Didn't he have the crown?
Yeah, we were wondering the same thing.
I had to do Sarda twice. I lost the crown. I was like, wait a minute, I had the crown. What the heck did I do? And then, let's see, re-rolled my party twice, and ran around like a chicken with my head cut off, not knowing what to do. Then ran into man cats with lit 3, and I'm like, I'll just power through it, and then wipe. And I'm like, I guess I'll come back to this later. Literally the entire first 45 minutes of this game, I was like, have I played this game before? I don't know what I'm doing.
A lot of people were having some issues there in the early game. That loose floater was rough on everybody. Shadowwisher, actually the first person on stream, and I'm assuming first overall, to find that loose floater.
Seriously?
Yeah, absolutely. You were actually the first in the air by I wouldn't say a mile, but like by, a football field. We'll go with that.
Jeez.
I thought that was Galaxy Brain to go on to Mermaid side. Like, I wiped on the one side, I'm like, oh, zombie dragons suck. I guess I'll go to Mermaid side and see what's there. And then I found Floater, and I'm like, oh, this is not good for a Duckling seed. Like, this is going to throw so many people for a loop.
Yeah.
I ended up doing Mermaid side because I wasn't ready for Kraken.
Yeah, the main person that actually threw for a loop wasn't the Ducklings. It was actually the veteran and Cheezinator who has joined us, I think, right now.
Yep.
Cheezinator. Oh, man, that floater. Leaving. Getting out of
I didn't know that embarrassment was on the restream. I thought other people were going to be on, so now I'm just considering that everyone saw me triple dip Earth and double dip Sea.
You can assume correct.
Don't worry, Cheese. I was in the exact same boat. I was sitting there going, what am I doing? Am I even playing this game? I'm just going to keep running into walls and not do things. And I heard somebody say that they misstepped in ice. I did the exact same thing. I'm like, I missed 2 chests. Better go back and get them because I don't know what's there.
Yeah, I I think after I did the ice and volcano entrances and the ruby turned up, well, first of all, it was the ruby, and then it turned up nothing in the 4 chests, my brain blanked. At that point, I should have gotten into my boat and headed back to Mermaids, which I had left behind to, like, I don't know, wait for my thief to be back alive. But I was like, oh, there's those 4 chests in Earth, and I need to do my grind. I'll just do that now, and of course it's going to be in Earth. And then it dawned on me as I was on, like, the 2nd or 3rd floor that I had left Mermaids behind.
Yeah, we were kind of wondering on this end. We were like, when is Cheezinator gonna remember that he left Mermaids on the table? Because we saw you doing the dive, and we were like, man, we hope there's something down there. We hope there's a bonk. We hope there's something that's gonna make this dive worth it. Because we know that you're not gonna get what you want down there, but at least we could hope there's some sort of consolation prize. First off, I'd like to. Syraniss and Shadowwisher, how'd your chaos battles go? They went pretty smooth, right? Like,
Yeah, super smooth.
Yeah, right?
For the most part.
I don't think Chaos had anything.
Oh yeah, well, Guda, do you want to tell them what Chaos had?
Chaos was super skill happy. He started with damage poison, and then turned it into tornado, and then turned it into nuclear, and then turned it into something else, and then turned it directly back into damage poison.
Yeah,
And
so Syraniss and Shadowwisher, who were ahead of you, saw none of that. It was all spells from both of them. So it was like,
are you kidding me?
I am
I
not
saw
kidding you.
Rub. I think I got knocked
You
by
got
Rub
Bane.
twice, or Bane, one of them.
It was Bane, Rub, Lit 2s, attacks and all that kind of nonsense. So you're pulling Chaos, and on comms, me and Dang are like, oh, he's got this. Like, Chaos has nothing. First thing, Poison. We're like, what? He has skills? And then second thing, Inferno. What is happening? Like, he went full skill on happy with you, and some of the nastiest skills you can see on any boss in the game.
Yeah, and I purposely, I even set up Chaos right. I'm like, all right, I'm doing fast, I'm doing Invis 2, I'm doing wall.
I got Bane to rub through the wall.
So I'm like, I've got
Ouch.
wall, I've got everything I need. And then all of a sudden it was like, damage poison. Okay, well, the wall's going up. I should be fine. Blaze. Or Inferno. I'm like, oh, well,
yeah.
there goes the guy with wall.
Blaze and Inferno are so powerful if you're not resistant.
All right. So, little update off stream real quick. Finishing in 6th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour 52:31, we've got Cinema Bee. Cinema Bee finishing the race up. Unfortunately, it's not going to put him into the final race of the Duckling Derby. First off, I've got everybody in here. You guys are the final 4. I know that I talked to Shadowwisher a little bit about it, and she had she didn't think she was going to make it this far.
Nope.
I don't know how Syraniss and Guda felt. I'm sure Cheezinator was pretty confident in himself, but how did everybody else feel?
But I got super worried. As soon as I saw Guda finish, and I was like middle of Topher, I was like, I can't cast a single defensive spell the rest of the game. I'm going fast, punch, and if that doesn't get me 4th place, then I didn't deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, that Agama grind, I think that I would have done a similar thing. At that point, you're like, I don't know what's happening. I'm so far behind. I know that Agamas are here. I've got black belts. I've got enough key items. I'm just going to go on ahead and get it done. And hopefully I'll find the floater and then get myself in go mode and just start punching things left and right.
That was exactly what it was. I wanted my remaining walks to be faster with enemies running away, and I wanted Topher to just be a non-issue because I didn't have life.
Yeah, and no one really did except for somebody on stream had.
Oh, I had life, I had life 2, I had everything.
Yeah, and that
Because I rerolled to fighter red white.
Yeah, and that's the thing we talked about on comms. With Fade at level 1, learnable, and with Life, learnable, or White Mage, do you reroll? And Guda was the only one we saw on stream that rerolled for the White
Rerolling was
Mage.
probably correct. I should have picked up a White Mage over one of my characters.
And then Life 2 also being, I think Life 2 was also white locked, and it was like level 3. So I'm like, oh, well, my White Mage is golden. Just throw a ribbon on her the entire time, and she is going to just be my saving grace, which she did. She's pulled me out of Ice Cave with the Undead Party Pack that had
Fire 2, yeah. Sorry.
Squint and Glance and, I don't know, a bunch of instant death stuff. And then, she pulled me out of another one, too, and then, Exit.
So let's talk about
everything. utility.
I want to talk about the chime as well. Shadowwisher, luckily, when she found the chime, she had already done pretty much everything else, and the only option she had was to go to the Mirage area. A few of you guys found the chime and then still decided to go on ahead and check other areas. How did you feel when you finally made it up there and you saw that incentive ice, and you were like, of course it's ice?
I felt fine about it because if everyone was getting funneled to a required sea trip to the Mirage Tower location, I didn't feel like I was that behind, having full cleared the remainder of the map prior to that. And honestly, I didn't actually feel behind until sort of the floater didn't show up in those last couple entrances at Ice and Volcano. But before that, I was just like, this seed just seems like it sucks for everyone.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the kind of thing, too, that I notice whenever I'm running a seed. Is like, if you're seeing a bunch of crap and things are just not happening the way you hope they are, they're probably not happening well for the other racers. You know, you've got to pull like a serious, like you said, galaxy brain play, and you know, dive marsh early and find both loose items kind of deal early on in order to make things happen. Or like Shadowwisher and just go after all the things that had happened in her run that was really bad earlier on, somehow go down to mermaids, find that second loose item in the floater, and then get up in the air and finally make some things happen for her.
That's how I felt. I felt the same way as Cheese. Like I dove the first level of Earth early and got that early key item, and I was like, oh, all right. And then I found dwarves, and I'm like, oh, hey. I'm like, I would go. Oh, there's Matoya, and I'm just like, all right, this is like literally the only route that anybody can take, because once you got chime, I'm like, all right, I'll check all these other entrances. Nothing. Run down to Mirage, get canoe. I'm like, well, all right, then fall down a hole. I'm like, well, I'm already here. I might as well just follow it up and go up to Ordeals. I'm like, this is pretty much what the route has to be, and tournament actually prepared me for sailing a lot.
Yeah, that is kind of the good thing about Cheezinator, you being around, Guda, you being around as well, that you did make it. You were part of the spring tournament, and it was sail the high seas with the free canal. So you did learn the map by being in a boat. So that definitely helped you out tremendously. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up because I've been talking way too much. And I feel like you guys have a lot more to say about things. So we'll go ahead and start with our first place finisher. Syraniss, you got anything for us? Any last words?
I just can't believe I actually finally got a first place. And I am super glad that I did not take my canoe up the river system to Ice and Volcano, because it sounds like that was a bust for the people that...
Yeah, Fire had Waterfall, which the robot gave the Ruby, which was always something you're like, no. And then Ice Cave, of course, had Titan's West, so you could at least check what the Titan had. Real quick, before I go on ahead and go to Shadowwisher, I would like to say thank you, everybody, for being here and enjoying the race. Dangwoo, my broadcast partner, the runners on stream for doing what they do. I'm Gregory Puff. Dangwoo's my broadcast partner. Danny3883 is on tracking. Speed Gaming, of course, put this thing together for us. Make sure you come back to the Speed Gaming Networks, family of networks, tomorrow, same time, 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time for the finals of this race. One of these four people that I'm talking to, Syraniss, Guda, Shadowwisher, and CheezinatorHS, are going to be Duckling Supreme, so you got to make sure you check it out tomorrow night. Shadowwisher, final words. Hurry. No, I'm just kidding.
Thanks. Yeah, no. I thought for sure I wasn't gonna make it, but as it got later and later, and I noticed no one had finished, it was like, this isn't happening, but here we are.
Yeah.
Trying to get my brain wrapped around it.
Yeah, you just keep pushing. We've all been there. You're like, you're kind of newer. You don't really race much. You go into Topher. You realize some of the people that you think are shoe-ins haven't finished yet, and you're like, I could maybe do this, and then you do, and that's really awesome. We're happy for you. We're glad that you're our second place finisher, and moving on to our second half of, our third part of the Duckling Derby, where things are going to get pretty wacky. Guda, what you got for us?
I'm really excited to become a platypus. It's been a life goal of mine. And I would like to thank Speed Gaming for hosting us. I mean, it's fantastic. We appreciate everything that they've done for us. They've always hosted us for all of our recent tournaments, so it's fantastic. Everybody for coming out. Dang Woo, Gregly Puff for putting this on and doing the comms. Danny3883 as the tracking MVP of the world. She is a beast. Also co-op champ. Shout out. Other than that, I'm looking forward to tomorrow night because I haven't done an entrance and floor shuffle in a couple of weeks since Chaos Flag, so this should be great.
All right, and thank you so much for that, Guda. And off-stream, just going ahead and keep talking about our off-stream racers. 7th place, Dark Moon has finished. Dark Moon EX finished in 7th place with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 48 seconds.
I actually watched him finish, and it was a nail biter. Nuke came out from Chaos. The knight was down to 30 HP. A nuke, not a nuclear, a nuke.
Where was Nuke? It had to have been buried in that spell list. It had to have been number 6 or 7 or 8.
Barely survived with about 38 HP, got a nice big crit, and was able to beat Chaos. So
I mean, shit, the only reason I survive is because I did so much damage to Chaos and I lost my knight, and I just threw a fade out with my red mage crane.
So that was, yeah. So,
and that means we're down to CG Rifter. If anybody wants to go on ahead and check him out and cheer him on as he finishes up this final race, let's go on ahead and talk to Cheezinator, get his final thoughts before Dangwoo and I sign off.
Yeah, before everyone signs off, I just want to poll who saw the Nuke Red Bones in Ice Cave.
Yeah,
that's a big negative.
Nuclear Winter Redbone.
Oh, did they also have Blizzard?
They sure did.
Ooh, that's a joy. Yeah, I fortunately only saw one cast of Nuke. Otherwise, a wipe there would have been enough for me to not make 4th place. There's all kinds of like close shaves that could have gone another way. Kraken punched my black belt once, but not twice. So that was just I had to go from the point that I realized that it was do or die. Because I think I was in Earth Cave on the way to Lich when Syraniss finished. And so my first thought was like, wow. My second thought was like, oh shit. So, oh shoot. So yeah, that's how.
Language.
Strike one, Cheese. Strike one.
You're gonna get a comment from somebody.
You're gonna get a demerit.
You're gonna get a DM from somebody important.
Yeah. Anyway, so I wanted to thank my fellow runners, say good game again, and looking forward to playing with you all tomorrow. Thank you, Speed Gaming, for hosting us, Greg and Dang for the commentary. As always, this has been a wonderful setup. I've been looking forward to this little mini tournament. You know how much I love my tournaments.
Well, I'm really happy that you enjoyed everything, and I'm glad you came out. I'm glad you were able to secure that 4th place spot, and all of you guys for making it. You guys have made it. We got the race tomorrow. You're there. It's going to be insanity. It's going to be entrance, floor shuffle, town shuffles. They're all mixed together. Yeah. You're starting off with a solo something, and you got tavern mode on where you got to go into pubs and recruit party members, and it's clamped bosses, clamped enemies. It's going to be redonkulous. Dangwoo and I are going to be calling it tomorrow. We're not going to know what's going on because we barely knew what was going on in this particular race. I'm excited. Dangwoo, what are you thinking?
Oh, I'm excited. Are you kidding me? We're about to name a champion out of all of our little new players. And let me tell you, that excites me. But before we sign off here, I just kind of wanted to give you guys a link here. This is the last runner here. If you guys would like to kind of watch him go, he's got a little bit to go still, but you can always watch him. And I'm Dangwoo. That was Gregly Puff that you just heard before us. For all the runners out there in the FFR community, thank you for coming to watch. We are signing off. You all have a great night, and see you tomorrow night for the finals.
No.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you guys again for coming out.